All right, everybody. Just before we get into the podcast today, I want to, say thank you to this month's sponsor, and I'm really excited this month. This sponsor, I've been using their product since I was in high school, which Fish Likes to Remind Me was a really long time ago. And so this month's sponsor is Sculpey, and they have sent us a bunch of stuff to give away at our drawing events, both here and in Texas, because now we have drawing events in Texas. So if you're in the San Angelo area, go check that out. If you're not familiar, Sculpey is an oven-baked clay, is an amazing crafting medium that has been around for over 50 years, like I said, back when I was in high school. Sculpey offers a wide selection of oven-baked clay brands for all different crafting levels, from kids just starting out their creative journey to people looking to make jewelry and DIY home decor to talented sculptors selling their art. There is a Sculpey clay for everyone. Sculpey clay is easy to use and stays soft until you bake it in your home oven at a low temperature of 275 degrees Fahrenheit, which is lower than baking cookies. Now I want cookies. You can check out Sculpey Clay and a wide selection of their innovative tools at www.sculpey.com. For a limited time, they've actually given us a coupon code for us here at Inebri-art. So if you're listening now, you can go to sculpey.com for 25% off your entire order. So you just go over to www.sculpey, that's SCULPEY.com, and enter the promo code PFNS25, and you'll get 25% off your entire order. So let's get into the podcast.
I quit a bar one time because of Katy Perry. True story.
That's an entirely reasonable decision to make,
and
I don't at all disagree with that.
I was miserable at a bar. Are we recording?
Technically, but...
I was miserable at a bar that I was working at already, and then I come in, and this song, it was Dark Horse. You remember that one?
No.
I can't even
Unfortunately,
sing it now in my head. You know, yeah.
They play it. I know it.
Yeah, so it was on the loudspeaker, and it was just they played that song so many times, and then the thought of being there again for that 50th time, and then the lady who ordered a Chardonnay that always orders it in a way that I know it was all these things compounded, and I literally walked in back, I quit, and walked out.
See you later. I have never been so jealous of someone in my life because I want to do that. I want to do that so bad.
Yeah, I mean, I was
I've
broke
had dreams
forever.
about quitting like that.
It's just like I am done with the music and I'm done with the job and I would like to go home and never come back. Thank you. Goodbye.
I'm going to leave it as is. Yeah, God. Just smash a plate and be like, "That's your soul," And
just
you want to smash people's souls on the way out?
No, I'm talking about Dover Sole. SOLE for those.
Wow.
You were a server. That was a server.
Man, that is some really...
You wanted to quit. But
that is some expensive quitting, I gotta say. But it's not your problem anymore because you don't work there. So fuck
to lay that fish no more.
Fuck no.
Yep.
All right, so welcome back, Inebri-art, since we're kind of already in the middle of the podcast. This is Andy, the Inebri-art podcast, and we're recording here at the Mayflower Brewery, where we've been recording the past, half dozen shows. And we're here with Ben Goldsmith and Pat McCann. That can't be a real name. And
no, it is. It's Goldsmith. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But thank you for asking.
I legit changed it a couple weeks ago from Tukes Morgan
to Pat McCann.
So I thought something a little bit more conventional would be good. Yeah.
And so you have this concept album / comic book thing going on?
Yeah, so Tukes, Pat and I, of course, that was so close, wasn't it?
Almost let it fly.
So I write a comic book called The Seance Room, which is out with SourcePoint Press. And SourcePoint Press is great. We've had a lot of success lately. We got into Diamond. We do a comic book with Billy Bob Thornton. One of our comics got turned into a movie with Corey Nemec from Stargate and Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
Oh, nice.
On and on and on. And we've had this really nice success, and they pulled me on in. We then were approached about, because Pat and I are both musicians from a while back. Pat's part of a band called the Brothers McCann, who are absolutely incredible. I've always loved...
I thought you said you just came up with that name.
No, just to fit the mold.
You can't lie. This is a podcast.
This is all true.
Yeah, if it's on a podcast, it now becomes truth. It's
I just
rewriting
figured
history.
if I had the name, to go with the project, you know how these things go.
Like one of the brothers McCann quit, and you're like, shit, we need another
got
one.
Yeah,
Surprisingly, it's had 8 different incarnations.
It's like the Pirate Roberts.
At one point,
it is. It's the Menudo of New England.
Let's just be honest. This is the greatest pirate.
Wait,
rock
he has to be
band
like a
you've ever
14-year-old
heard.
Hispanic kid?
Yeah, look at him. Oh, you guys can't on the
Not a
podcast.
shade
You can't
over.
hear it, but
I'm
yeah.
a shade over 12 years.
Yeah, Pat looks like a 13-year-old Ricky Martin.
That's it. Who hasn't been outside in at least 5 years?
I'm sorry, so you have a comic book.
Oh yeah. So we have a comic book, and so Pat and I are both musicians from way back, and we. I've always wanted to work again with Pat. We knew each other since middle school, and we've been in bands together. But then went our separate ways. I went to Los Angeles. Pat stayed here. Started going on tour with the band, and then I came back after getting the comic book, and someone approached us about actually Jay.
Yep.
Approached us. He said, you guys want to make an album? Literally, he's like, you guys just make one. So Pat and I got together, started recording it, writing it, recording it, and then now we are, where we have 9 days left in the Kickstarter as of today, which is the November 1st.
Mm-hmm. Response has been great.
Yeah, response has been great. Well, the whole shtick is that what it is it's like if Pink Floyd recorded a horror soundtrack.
Okay.
That's what this thing sounds like. And you guys will be hearing this on the clips that you guys...
Yes, we're going to attach some towards the end of this. Yeah.
Here's one of those songs from it right now. Ready? Pat and I are going to do it live, a cappella. It goes like this.
Go ahead.
With the tiger in your... Okay, that's bullshit. That is not
All right,
one of those songs.
You should
That's
still...
a C-side. Let's be honest. That's on the cassette that comes buried in the back of the car that we also are auctioning on.
Yeah, we're auctioning
It's a
off
Chevette.
a 1997 Chevette, and the cassette is stuck.
It's
in
actually
the
an 87. A piece of the 8 fell off.
So, obviously the music's inspired by the comic.
Yeah.
And how long is the comic now?
The comic is right now. We're on the ones that are out are issue 1 and 2. You can get right now. 3 and 4 will be out within the next couple, say about 6 months. You get both of those, and we're gonna go up to 8. Since that came out, we have been approached. We're gonna do a board game with Deepwater Games, which is really nice. We are gonna be doing. This album's been great, but then. I started writing for Mad Cave Studios too, the guys who do Battle Cats right now. What was the other? They had a book that just came out, and I can't for the life of me remember the name. And if Mark hears this, he'll kill me. But yeah, so I started writing for those guys, and it's just been a good. I didn't. I mean, growing up, it was like. Comics was not like a thing.
It wasn't, yeah.
We weren't all like huge into it. I think I always wanted to. You know what it was? I mean, it was a thing of classic, like, how do you find your way into Batman when there's 50 Batmans and which iteration? And,
Right.
And this
It's kind of like getting into metal if you haven't gotten into metal.
How, like, where do you
And it's like
start?
it's like issue 607.
Exactly.
You're like, I don't know what the hell's going on or who these people are.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Should I start at 1, or is that
Right.
a good idea?
Yeah.
right. Well, and it's even if like you start now, it's like jumping into Metallica at Saint Anger
Exactly.
and being like,
and then you walk in.
Why do
tell
people like these guys?
Yeah, exactly.
You walk in and be like, well, I tried,
Yeah,
And
exactly.
You say you listen to Saint
Yeah,
Anger.
and you have to like always apologize for not liking Metallica because you just didn't do it the right way.
That guy.
Yeah.
So, and here's another track from the album. Pat, go for it. Ready? You want to take it? A lot of songs about tigers.
That sounds a lot like the last one. I'm
Well, it was
not
actually
judging.
it was actually a continuation
Oh,
of
all
the
right.
first.
It's part 2.
Part 2.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a 2 TWO umlaut because we are fancy.
Nice.
Yep.
You
Just
are
a
drinking
German.
your coffee with your pinky out. So,
Yep. Cheers, Facebook Live.
so quick synopsis of what the comic is about.
Yeah, for sure.
And how does the album tie in? Like,
Great question. You should host a podcast. So what we do is
I should try that.
Make
that note.
Write it down. Mark it. What it is it's like a Tales from the Crypt Seance Room. I'll use my comic to reference my comic.
That's
It's Tales from the Crypt Twilight Zone.
Well, it is its own
Okay.
thing.
What it is, it's like I've always
Twilight.
loved the episodic stuff where it's like one and done sort of thing, and But what we did is we kept the thematic elements. So you have this house where this gentleman, Henry Weiss, owns the mansion, and there are 6 ghosts that are trapped inside this mansion. Now, each issue, someone goes in, one of those ghosts comes to life and forces a person to face a fear or secret they've been trying to hide from.
Yeah.
Okay.
The entire
Great
issue...
stuff.
Yeah, and it's
It's a little fantasy island, isn't it?
actually, kind of, yeah. yeah. There is a character that just points to the sky and says,
The ghost.
The ghost. So, yeah. We could do this all day. White suits and tans.
We're just going to go. We also have trivia later, I'm just saying.
Yeah, we have some Trivial Pursuit for people. We'll ask it on the podcast and then never receive a response.
Never get a response.
There you
Yeah,
go.
but it'll be fun for the people at home to see if they can get it. What happened?
Fish has a trivia problem.
You have to do trivia or you don't?
It's a compulsion.
Wait,
You can't ask me questions and not get an answer to it.
Like if he doesn't know, like he Google shit. It's fucking
All right,
great.
well,
We'll be
I'll
sitting at a
start-
bar.
I'll start
We'll be
strong
sitting at
for
a
you,
bar,
Fish.
and I'll just be like, "Hey,
Here
I
we
wonder,
go. This is your first.
what was the last movie that such and such did?" And he'd be like, "Fuck!" And he'll still like take out his like.
Wait,
start
do
Googling.
we have one for
Well,
Yeah,
Fish?
let's-
why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Say,
for
let's
it.
go, Fish. Let's go.
Bastards.
What
Okay.
word occurs 46,227 times in the Bible?
This is your wheelhouse.
God, that is creepy.
Creepy is the answer, yes.
It's
Congratulations.
and.
Lord.
It's
Yeah.
and.
Is
The
it
word is
and?
and. The word is and.
That feels
That's
like a
word.
trick question.
It is a
That's
trick
a
question.
kind of a
setup.
shitty
That's
question.
called Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, for real.
That's called
get-
Think or Walk the Pirate's Plank.
You get no piece of cheese. That's what those always look like, those little pieces of
There
cheese.
is no fake.
So
Some weird colored cheese.
A weird color, yeah,
Yeah.
little pie.
so Jay was the one that said you guys should make an album to go along with the
Yeah,
comic.
yeah. Because he knew we were musicians.
Jay from Rubber Chicken
Rubber Chicken
Comics.
Comics. Yep. Who he's
Bellingham,
like,
Mass.
Yep, he's like the producer of the whole thing. He's the one who got it together. He's the one who is technically running the Kickstarter. He's just a really great guy who's been supportive the whole time. So the album, he asked us. He said, "Would you guys ever think about doing music for the thing to something to listen to while you're?" So I called up Pat, and I'd known Pat forever. Pat's this amazing keyboard player, really incredible singer, harmonist, and
And can we hear an example of that keyboard now?
yeah, of course. Here we go. Wow, dude.
That's Wave Lead 48. I like to mess
Good
around with some
people.
modulation.
You
on
let
the-
people know too. You don't
did.
keep your secrets about your sounds.
No, dude, I keep them in my breast pocket.
Yeah, that's open source.
I
Open
have,
source
I
for
have
everybody.
a keyboard that is so small, and you can't see it.
Yeah, can you put that away?
Well, I just want to put you on the
It's
shit.
intimidating.
Is it on your shoulder? There,
There it is, baby.
It's very Shana Na there.
Yep, that's it. You got about 2 octaves to summon.
So the album, when we went into it, we essentially had one word in mind. We were like minor, and that was the entire what we knew of
The
it.
vibe.
So then Pat,
Coal or copper?
and that's
Things running out again.
and that's the
Canary's dead, Jen.
100th dad joke on the podcast. ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, there's way more than 100.
baby.
Way more than 100.
Yeah. How many dad? That's the next trivial pursuit
Yeah.
question. No, yeah.
It's
yeah.
one more than the word "and" appears in the Bible.
Minor.
So yeah, we just were like, we want something minor, and then from there, Pat approached me one day. He's like, "Well, what if we had these backgrounds? We picked one of the ghosts, and in each ghost had their own background noise that we then added music to, and from there, it kind of evolved and moved on. And what we ended up coming up with was this: the first opening 6 minutes of the album is this journey, basically from the bottom of the walk up to the mansion, into the room itself where the spinner is that harnests all the ghosts, and releasing those ghosts. Then there is one song for each of the 6 ghosts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the only time that the music stops is on the album break. So like because it's a vinyl. That's
Right.
the biggest thing. You can get it on CD, but the vinyl is sort of like the draw, and that's how we recorded it and wrote it, was for the vinyl. So when you flip from side A to side B, that's really the only time the music ends. It's all continuous. It all flows. It's really interesting. We had a really great time working with the form of it as well as just the music, like really trying to create something that. The other thing was like minor and headphone album.
Yeah.
Those were the two.
Well, we wanted, something that would run continuously too. Like it was not going to be just like one song, and it kind of came together in that sense.
Yeah.
But then when we played it back in the order that we kind of designated, actually the order does go in the way that the order appears in the comic.
Yeah, so in the
which was
first
kind of a
issue,
cool
the
coincidence.
ghosts, when the ghosts, when
When the Gersh.
When the ghosts first show up, they are in the order that they appear on the album.
So, is there a lot of lyrics in the album? Because I feel like if it was lyric heavy, it would be like distracting to read while that's going on.
Yeah, so we actually, you'll play some clips. Here's another clip of it, I think, right now, of the lyrics, right? Tigers! Like I said, huge tiger theme.
So there's lots of tigers in the house.
Tons.
There's so many. There's some
actually
embedded.
It's owned by Roy and who are the two magicians?
Roy and Roy, because the other one stepped away, sadly, after
from this
many
mortal
years.
coil.
From the coil.
Are any of the tigers crouching?
No, but they are hidden.
All right.
Are all the ghosts tigers?
They are.
No. There's one, but we still haven't found it. We know that it exists, though. Like
there's a seventh ghost. Look for it in all the issues.
Hunt.
He's named Tony.
There is a bounty on that
And
ghost.
that issue is going to be great.
It is going to be great. When the final ghost and no one comes, it's like the
Yeah, but he's just all he does.
mystery flavor.
He's just like a really nice, like I made cupcakes.
They all blow him off.
Guys, our whole shtick is creepy ghost thing, and we tell people stories that really twist their heads. Yeah, but I made cupcakes. So I don't even remember the question.
Lyrics.
Yeah. We shockingly, you wouldn't know from listening to us talk, but it's actually a fairly scant album lyrically. We did do. There's 4 songs that have lyrics in them, and all the lyrics. We don't do. It's not like a big like A B A B, C B, which that form of like just verse chorus. It's very like prog rock, sort of operatic in a couple different ways, and Pat does these incredible layered harmonies that really like blow it up and open it up.
Originally, there weren't going to be lyrics too. I think it started really all of these songs. They did start just as musical ideas, right? And a lot of them came as like open kind of jams that we kind of recorded, and then we found little parts that worked, and then that was cool, or this is cool. And then a little bit later, Ben comes back. I think we had rehearsed a couple times with pieces, and Ben comes back and he's got these like lyrics, and he's like, I think we're going to try this. And it was actually, I was like, because at first I was like, lyrics, it's a soundtrack, it's music, and that's traditional. And he brought them, and I was like, man, these are actually really cool, and I think they fit for that ghost or for that story. And they worked, and we kept them. We said, let's go for it.
And the biggest thing, too, is we actually used the lyrics as if it was a passage of music, as opposed to, like, the music is supporting the lyrics.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like, you're walking through a house, and you're walking through the different rooms. The lyric part of the song is just another room in the house.
Yeah.
So it's not the load-bearing, the foundation of what we did.
So you have two issues out.
Yep.
Out of 6 or 8?
8.
8.
Could be more. There's no limit.
You have this album. At any time in the making of this album, were you then like, ooh, I think I want to change my story idea? Like, did the album affect the stories that you already had in mind?
You know what? No, because the album itself is it's a good thing, right? That it didn't, because like I want to say yes, because that's cool. That it's like it's this like living, but the stuff that comes from the comic with Kayla Valerio's art, she does this hand painted. She's like very, fantastic. She's like, I mean, no joke, like Asad Ribic, Alex Ross, like John J. Muth, like all those. Think of that. That's kind of what she does. No, for real. I don't just throw those names around.
Is she is she local or
Brooklyn?
Brooklyn,
yeah.
So no.
I mean, compared to Greece,
well,
but
I suppose that is like a
to the Mariana Trench, she's local. But, so the sort of the design of the characters, it was so built up already that by the time we got it with Pat, we were sort of feeding off of that instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I have 15 issues written, so my like understanding of the Seance Room is it's done. Like it's already complete. Because that's just the way I work. I have things done beforehand so that I can then come out and do fun podcasts with you guys instead of worrying about issue 3 and fucking it up and then feeling really guilty about putting shit out there.
Yeah. And when does issue 3 come up?
That'll be, within the next couple of months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's cool because that one we're telling completely in reverse. If you read it from page 1 to 22, it reads like a mystery. If you read it from page 22 to page 1, it reads like essentially like a drunk's suicide note. And self-evaluation. So it's we we really wanted to. I mean, the thing is, like, we wanted to play with the form of the single issue.
Yeah.
It gets even crazier, like, as we go on. So, but yeah, no. Getting back to your question, the album itself is meant to just be a sort of like an enhancement, sort of the starter deck, so to speak. Like you can listen to it, and there's thematically you get an understanding of everything that's going on, but it doesn't change how you feel about one issue, and it doesn't, it's just it's the icing. Or not the icing, because it is like you can listen to this and read any of the issues.
Yeah.
No, it's...
Hell, you could read this and listen to or read any horror comic. Like it's meant to be ubiquitous.
Yeah.
I think it's time for another fish trivia question.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Ooh, okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen.
What would you be examining
last time
if you used?
If you were a proctologist,
a taste-of-in.
A taste-of-in?
I think.
Can we get a spelling? Can we get a spelling of that?
TASTEVIN.
Can we get some? Can we get some music while he thinks?
There it is.
Oh wow!
What?
This man knows his stuff. The Vin may have given it away.
No, the answer's Death of a Salesman.
Yeah. It was.
You read the brown question.
It was Bangladesh.
Right? It was Bangladesh. It was either These are the answers. It was either Bangladesh drums. They were crucified with Christ. Death of a Salesman. Charles Lindbergh or wine.
Now that, my friends, is a hell of a trivia.
That's a list.
Answer one of those questions from those answers.
Oh,
okay, yeah. Let's do this.
Okay.
Let's do this Jeopardy style. All right. So ready? So here we go.
At least give me the Bible one, because I might be able to bullshit that.
Nope. I'm going to give you Charles Lindbergh. What was the question?
I can give you the question for the other one, but I already saw it, so I know.
Is it crossing the Atlantic in an airplane, or does it involve his child being kidnapped?
Ooh, I'm sorry. The answer was, who was the producer of Foreigner's third album?
You're shitting me.
Completely. Yeah, who flew like the N6211 Ryan monoplane into history? Like, fuck that question. Putting it in the discard pile.
All right, so when you guys aren't reading trivia...
Oh, shit, I totally would have gotten the history one.
Yeah, because you're a huge dork.
Yeah. Why you
never hurts to know trivia.
We were actually obsessed with trivia for a while.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So where do your music and comic inspirations lie? Like, who were influential to you guys?
No, I mean, obviously, well, Ben, just when he asked me to do this, first of all, I've known Ben a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he is, very adventurous, creative-wise. He's always gone full into whatever he's doing. So that was obviously a draw. I knew that I'd be working with someone who I could creatively trust, who I've worked with before. And when he asked me to be a part of this, I said, man, this is a great idea, but I got to actually read it. And I was being honest.
I suppose that's true.
It's important. And I said this before, so I'll be a little consistent. Like, I hadn't read it, so I said, I got to read it. So I read it, and I immediately was like, man, this is cool. The theme, the feel. It just really took me right away, and I said, "That's so cool."
Well,
and then
by the way, I don't blame you at all, because how many times does a friend say, like, "I'm doing a thing"?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm used to me personally. I'd be like, yeah,
and you buy it, and it sits on your desk, and you genuinely intend to get
I'm
to
just,
it.
and so he gets me an issue, like, I didn't even have to pay for it. It was great, and he brought it over, and I read it, and I delved into it, and I was like, man, this is sweet. It's awesome. It's really cool, and I'm so then I start envisioning what it could potentially sound like, and then I'm starting to think, like, well, I love horror, and I love those dark kind of television shows. I'm a big fan of, like, Angelo Badalamenti and Ennio Morricone, all of the stuff with John Carpenter, even going as further as now with, like, Disaster Piece, what Richard Vreeland did for It Follows. Loved that soundtrack. So I'm into horror soundtracks, so that drew me right in. And when I knew there was an element of horror, mystery, kind of that dark magic element, ghosts. That's just right up my wheelhouse. I love that stuff. I've been haunted since I was born. So the beast was, I said, well, let's get together and let's start to combine these influences. And we brought those to the table, I think. But then we also borrowed some of the stuff that I think is a little more of the contemporary music stuff as well, and brought that in. Like you said, Pink Floyd is definitely a big influence on this record, and Radiohead is a huge influence on this record.
Yeah, I've gotten that a couple times.
And I think that's a great comparison. I'm like, look, we're not obviously trying to go like, this is Radiohead, but like, if you get any type of little, it's not a rip, it's more of a tip of the hat. And I think those are those are valuable little components of any record. And we're huge record fans,
right?
too.
And anytime you say like, it's Pink Floyd that does a horror soundtrack, like I'm only doing that for like foothold, right?
Sometimes you just have to give someone some reference.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it, right? Exactly. Like because I work conventions like nonstop,
right.
So all you do is you say, well, this comic is this plus this. All you're doing is giving people a frame of reference.
The beauty of it too, though, is it's so different. And there's so many different facets of it, theme-wise and sound and influence-wise, that it's never further in one direction. I think it moves in a lot of different.
Yeah,
but I do like people that will make that, because I've done tons of conventions, and you get those people and be like, well, what's it like? And well, it's not like anything. And you're like, well, you're not fucking helping me at all.
You're not helping.
Yeah. And also, you're up your own asshole, because of course it's like something that's come before.
Probably way too much like something.
Well, that's probably more the truth of it, isn't it? Well, the other cool thing was, like, Pat and I, we actually did a lot of theater growing up, and believe it or not, that actually allows itself really strongly towards taking music and turning it into a character-driven thing. Like, you can listen to these things, and we tried really, really, really hard to, even in the panning or even in the mix, to create character in the music. And so Pat and I have such common backgrounds that it was really shorthand for a lot of stuff. Like, going into the writing session was like the easiest writing session I've ever had in my life, where Pat would come in and be like, here's a thing, and I'm like, great, let's add this, and he'd be like, great, and it was done. It was that easy.
Yeah.
There was, I even talked about it in that interview for Multiversity. I was like, Pat, because we know each other so long, you just trust the person.
And you have that kind of shorthand.
And even if I'm not like 100% sold on a thing, if Pat is, I know there's something there.
Well, I also feel like if I can't get to a point like with an idea, like I know Ben's going to go, let's just leap and go, and may not at first be something I'll be like, oh, I wouldn't have thought to do that, and then he's doing it, so it's like you got to, if they're jumping off the cliff into the water, you got to go too. Right. So it's kind of like that with working with Ben, which is great. And
you forgot your pocket watch.
Do you have
another clip?
Idea?
Yeah, we'd love to.
Oh yeah, why don't we do a clip? Is this one to have also include tigers?
No, dude, of course not.
No, there wouldn't be any tigers.
That would be so stupid.
We've gotten past this part.
Come on.
And
Here we go.
This one's,
Tiger, 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 wow, tiger, 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 wow. Yeah.
That's.
Thanks, man.
Thank
you. The look in your face
right
now
like
says
Grammy.
Come on.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the winner for Best Tiger in
Our category,
ladies and gentlemen,
introduced for these
Jukes Morgan and Ben Pat McCann. We're going back. We're going full circle.
But like the split shot on the telecast is like you and me, like really hopeful,
right,
and then a tiger in the audience, like really nervous. Is it going to be me or is it going to be those guys?
Yeah. That tiger's won his awards. You let him have his time.
Well, because he was related. His mom was a big singer in the audience.
Tiger knew someone.
The Tiger game is all about who you know.
Yeah, it's all about who you know.
Who you start.
We are going to have some clips from the album.
Yes.
Attached to the end of this, because we can't all just do acoustic, acapella stuff. But how about we close out with another trivia question?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I got to go from the middle of the pack.
Yeah, because
while Pat's looking for this, I'm going to plug.
Can you give us the online?
Yep. So you can go to the Kickstarter for Seance Room album. It's pretty easy to find. We're the only ones who have that kind of thing. You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Ben AU, MrBenAU. You can find Pat at McCannstagram with 2 C's and 2 N's. And then friend us on Facebook. Take a look at the album. Guys, there's some art right there. I should have talked about this earlier, but we have art from Ben Bishop, who's the artist for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that just sold. Thomas Nashlik, who does all the art for Beauty from Image.
Yep.
He has some original Seance Room art up on the
nice.
Kickstarter. Jay Fosgett, who does Fraggle Rock, My Little Pony. He did Bodie Troll, just came out with Boom Studios. He will draw you with one of the ghosts from the Seance Room. Just like a ton of really great stuff. Weiss Manor t-shirts, glow-in-the-dark pins of the ghosts, the vinyl, the CD, all that stuff, and my comics you can get also on Kickstarter.
What cons do you have coming up, scheduled?
That's done for the season, man. Rhode Island is, I know this weekend we're not doing that, and then that's it until the spring. But we just finished up, you name it, we're there.
Yeah.
And then with the addition of the Mad Cave stuff, I'll be at, doubling the cons I did this year, which was like 25. So
Nice.
That'll be a full-time thing probably within, if not next year, the year after for me.
Outstanding.
Yeah. So, Pat.
Pat McCann, over to you.
So here we go.
Man
what
on the
does
Really nervous.
what does DP stand for?
Oh, come on.
I know that one. I know that one.
No.
I know that one.
Is this off the not safe for work edition? Did you make that up? I don't
No,
believe
no.
Give me that card.
Don't look at the card, Ben.
Bullshit.
Just answer the question before the
Bullshit.
timer expires.
I know
Is
that one.
Is that the for real card?
It's really the card. DP.
Come on.
It's the card.
All right, Fish. It's in your court, dude. I tried. I went to bat for you, man.
Jesus, yeah.
Wait, let me show. Let me show.
Put it up close to the camera.
Yeah.
He's not lying. That is for real the
Oh
question.
God, that's a history question.
That's the history
That's
question.
a dirty history question.
What does
wow.
D?
Oh, I just
Well-
totally give it away.
Well, I was gonna say. Well, we all know that we're terrible people. And that's where I went first. All right, Fish, come on, man. What is the?
Yeah,
Do you know
what's
the
it?
answer?
No, I'm just gonna cheat.
Yeah, Fish, come on.
I'm sorry, my mind went into the gutter,
Come on, really?
and that's where the gutter is.
May I?
Can we do one more? Let's
Yeah,
do
that-
one more.
well,
That's just
hang on, let me
unfair.
It's not like
We
Dutch
have to-
Petroleum or
Here we
something,
go.
is it?
Here we go. All right, here we go.
Wow, we have to give the listeners the answer.
All right, the answer. There's no way anyone was gonna get that. Displaced person.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
That was
Okay, here we go.
That
This
would've
is the
never
real.
All right,
all
go
right.
on.
For all you New Yorkers, how many floors are there in the Empire State Building? That's a good one.
well,
You can't answer a lot. That is not a valid answer.
several.
We will accept quite a few, a whole lot of them, or 102.
Yeah, no, I did not know that.
Is it one of
Well, start spreading the news now, everyone.
Start spreading the tiger.
Rawr, Tiger.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you
having
guys.
us.
I'm excited to hear the album.
Yeah, I will. I'll send you the whole thing after this.
Nice. And can you guys play us out?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But not a tiger song.
Definitely
No,
not
that'd be
at
ridiculous.
all.
Wait, were there other Tiger songs?
Let's actually do time.
Yeah, it's a tiger.
Yeah, tiger. Spends my whole life
Making up
for mistakes that I have made.
and welcomes.
Oh, we both went up! No, we gotta do this again. We gotta do it again. Get back here. We're doing it again. You take the harmonies from the top. Get away from that wall, Spider-Man. All right, here we go. For real.
I'm in training.
All
Leave
right,
me
here we
alone.
go. Here we go. 3, 4.
I spend my whole life making up for mistakes that I have made and welcomes overstayed. I am the prime example of a record overplayed creatures in the shadows of the sundial, moving with the hours, golden by the dark, ask so many questions of me. My replies are numb. I'm desperate for the tiger. 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 Tiger.
Wow.
Second one was
That was pretty. That was pretty impressive. Yeah. Thanks again, guys. This has been a lot of fun, and we'll definitely have to have you guys back on again.
Thanks.
When after you guys win your Grammys, and I'm sure you'll get something from the World Wildlife Foundation too. I mean, I feel like that's a given. So it's been a lot of fun, and thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
much for having us.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
skies, ceilings of marble glass, watching the hours slip past, wearing tuxedos and beefed up libidos. Blue skies, imagine along with clouds, tagging personal styles one more time. Blue skies, imagine along with clouds, tagging personal styles one more time.